find that white students are completing their postgraduate qualifications faster than black students. Black Forum was founded long before AfriForum was founded. That's how system works. You challenge them, they criminalize you.
This Black Forum of yours is racist. We don't want to be part of it. One more week, one more episode. This is the Professionals Network podcast with myself, Theo Mapheto. This is the podcast where we like what we say and we say what we like. We bring you professionals from all walks of life. Today is no exception. I have brought a good friend of mine, my leader, Advocate Bernard Kgagudi Morota, the CEO of Black Forum South Africa. My man.
Yes.
How are you?
Very well. How are you, sir?
Thanks for gracing us with your presence, man.
Very well.
It's been a long time. I've been trying to get you onto the podcast and you've been running away from me.
You can't run away from this big professional podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now let's get straight into the issues now.
Yeah.
Black Forum South Africa. Are you guys a poor imitation of AfriForum?
Look, most of people are saying that, but if you trace the history, you'll realize that Black Forum was founded long before AfriForum was founded at the University of South Africa around 1992, 1993 by esteemed scholars and professors in that university. And their aim, of course, it was to emancipate black academics, trying to push transformation and Africanization of the curricula within that university. So perhaps we could say that AfriForum has learned from us and trying to, mimic what we have been doing.
So Black Forum was established in 1992, right?
Around that time.
Around that time, circa 1992.
Yes.
Now, 92 or thereabouts was before democracy, before the advent of democracy,
That's
because
correct.
I think we got democracy in 1994. Wouldn't you say material conditions have since changed?
No, not really. Of course, during that time, remember the access into the higher education landscape was closed, especially for black professionals, for black bodies. But the few black professionals, scholars at the University of South Africa have decided to come together in order to affirm and protect their rights at that time. But some of us, when we were employed by the University of South Africa, we still realize that our white colleagues have a perpetual hegemony over, black people. They still run the university, they dominate, they take decisions, they control the university systems to the extent that issues of beneficiation, salary discrepancies, black people were forever at the receiving end.
Yes.
And I'm talking about 2015, 2016, where you still find white professors who are, of course, professors, but without having completed their PhDs.
And they're called professors?
They're professors,
Yes.
or they're professors without having completed master's degree. They jumped from the first degree to do PhD. So it was normal.
And you're talking as recent as 2015?
2015. Then we said, someone tipped us that there was an organization which was formed by these black professors, which now has died.
Yes.
So revive that organization in order to challenge the status quo. And indeed, we challenged the status quo, and we found more skeletons that white academics were not being paid on the same salary percentile as black, colleagues, you find that white students are completing their postgraduate qualifications faster than black students because their supervisors are white and they are assisting them in terms of writing their thesis and all that. So it was a lot. Black people were trapped on a perpetual state of childhood in that university. Hence, we had to declare 2015, 16, 17 at UNISA as Black Forum that it's a year of madness, where we had to force the hand of the university to correct that systematic racism, what we could call a post-colonial apartheid hangover,
Yes.
which has been alive and well within this institution.
We are, of course, talking with reference to the University of South Africa, but I know the situation replicates itself in other universities.
Correct.
Right? So you would have, in other institutions, white professors who are called professors, but they don't actually have the necessary qualifications. They've not been appointed on merit, in other words.
Definitely, because the color of their skin is a qualification. Is qualification enough to grant them any position, a top position, executive management position, without having necessary qualifications. But as Black Forum, we said, because black people have been gate-kept, their career trajectory has been thwarted, has been constipated by this white system, the hegemony they had. We said, no, let's relax the qualifications now for black people also to qualify. Like to be a professor, they'll want PhD and about 12 or 13 publications in a form of research articles.
Yes.
Then we said, no, for you to be associate professor, you need PhD and 4 articles.
Was this not tantamount to lowering standards?
Then now, because it is done by black people,
Yes.
they are saying you are now lowering the standard, lowering quality and all that.
Yes.
So then we asked ourselves, whose standard is it anyway? Because we know that we know that white people, most of them have been appointed based on the law requirements. As I've told you that I have a list of white professors. Some of them do not have master's degrees. From basic degree, they went to do PhD. Others did masters. They never completed their PhD, but they were granted the professorate title and status because according to them, when you are white, you could be anything else, regardless of the qualification you possess.
Why is this white privilege allowed to persist in this day and age? We have a black government. We have black institutions or institutions that are run by black people. Why would we have this sense of white privilege persisting for this long?
Look, my man, we have white privilege persisting this long purely because in this country, we do not have a black agenda. Actually, we neglected a black agenda post-1994. And we thought we could replace a black agenda with government agenda.
What's a black agenda?
Black agenda is agenda which brings black people together in order to achieve their own self-determination. We had that before 1994. After 1994, that black solidarity amongst black community, we neglected it and it disappeared through the cracks because there is no commonality which brings us together in order to achieve our own self-reliance as a black community. So now, once we neglected that, we have, restored our trust and our focus on the government agenda, thinking that a government is going to do everything for us as a black nation because the government is black. But we forgot that we are in a constitutional democracy where a government is a government of everyone, not for a particular tribe or a race within the country. So in a constitutional democracy like that, government could be black, but it's not a government for black people. It's a government for everyone, black, white, Chinese, and
Yes.
all that.
Yes.
So then we became frustrated when black emancipation was very much slow. Even 8 years after democracy, we haven't attained it.
Yes.
It's because our government is for everyone and the black agenda was not in place to organize the black society.
Now, I need us to talk about the government. You do say that the government is a government for everyone, but you and I know that black people are essentially the people who've been oppressed, right? Under apartheid, under colonialism. Why is it that the government does not place the development of black people at the center of its agenda?
Yeah, look, when you are a government, I believe maybe they are being hindered by the nationalization, internationalization approach as government, how they want to be perceived internationally, want to be seen as a government of everyone. Even the ideologies and the documentations, the governing documents which influenced the kind of the government we have today are those which believed in government being government for everyone. I think that methodology, it was not a correct methodology. It was a flawed methodology because they don't bring about equity
Yes.
within the nation.
Yes.
That methodology is not serious with the reversing the injustices of the
Yes.
past.
Yes.
So they focus more on how will the government be perceived at the national and international level.
Yes.
That's why we clap hands and get excited when they see South Africa has the best constitution in the country. But
Does this country, occupied Tanzania as we call it, does it have the best constitution in the world?
no, this constitution is unconstitutional. It's a nonsensical constitution.
It's a nonsensical constitution, you say.
We'll never see it in our lifetime. They are saying it's the best constitution. Even the countries which are saying that, we haven't seen them amending their constitution to come closer to the nonsense we have in this country. So
What is it about this constitution that is nonsensical?
yeah, this constitution tries to ignore the injustices of the past. Whatever it says in its preamble is just a rhetoric because it does not really actualize, operationalize.
It's a feel-good constitution.
It's a feel-good constitution, just to create a win-win situation in a situation where there is a David and Goliath.
Yes.
You can't say they are equal. They are not.
Yes.
But also the opportunities which have been deprived from black people, how they have been excluded and all that.
Yes.
You cannot come many years after colonization and apartheid and want to equate black people with the, I could say white people because are the ones who have been in charge of this country.
Yeah, it's a historical fact.
Who runs the systems of this country, especially the economic hegemony that they have within this country. So the little advantages that our constitution gives us, also as black people, we do not take advantage of that. Because when you check section 235 of the constitution, which talks about any tribe, any ethnic group could come together in order to formalize itself, in order to achieve their own self-determination.
Yes.
As black people, we have been failing to do that. Actually, we relied on political parties for our own emancipation. 30 years down the line, we realized that political parties are not a solution to black problems. We are still having the same black problems 30 years down the line. And the political parties are, white system defeats us using one and the same scope. They don't change it. It's divide and rule. Or putting great black people, great black professionals, great black leaders, great black organizations.
The exceptional blacks.
Yeah, on a leash. You see, this fool who was here in City of Swan, Magwarela.
Yes.
Yes, he was appointed by the he was supported by the DA to be, was he a speaker before?
Yes.
And then once he switches to join...
Is he the one with fraudulent qualifications?
Yes. Yeah, when the DA supported him, they knew that he had these fraudulent things.
Oh, they did?
But they put him on a leash. They just kept quiet. That's how whiteness works. If they know that you are good, they put you on the leash and say the day he contradicts us, we finish him off. They finish that man off now. So that's how whiteness operates. But they either use divide and rule, or they put you on a leash. So apartheid was manufactured and operationalized through black professionals. But black people in this country, black professors, black professionals, they do not want to come together.
Well, before you come to that, because I know that there is some concern amongst professionals. I mean, you've made reference to Section 235 of the Constitution.
Yeah.
People would say, as an example, that Black Forum is racist. And these are black people talking, black professionals talking about this. Black professionals would say, this black forum of yours is racist. We don't want to be part of it.
Yeah.
What do you say to those perceptions that black forum is racist?
It's not, because I've just quoted Section 235, which says every ethnic group, like black people, could come together, formalize themselves in order to achieve their own self-reliance.
Can a white person join Black Forum?
Look, our membership and our definition of blackness, we are saying that for you to qualify for membership, you must be black and you must believe it.
Yes.
You must prove that you are black.
Yes.
And you must believe it. We have two categories of membership. There are those who are saying, by our skin color, we are not black.
Yes.
But we believe on black emancipation. Yes. We believe on, attainment of justice. Yes. We believe on correcting the historical faults. Such kind of people, we give them an associate membership.
So you're talking, say,
so you must
a white scholar can join Black Forum, but he would be categorized as an associate member.
Yes,
I see.
Yeah, you must be black and prove it.
I see.
So there are most of black bodies in terms of pigment of their color.
Yes.
But who are doing worse things than a particular white man who's saying,
yes,
no matter what come may, we will support black emancipation without pretense.
Well, I see one of your posters has the face of Steve.
Yes.
You'd recall that Steve did say that blackness is not only a pigmentation of the skin;
Definitely.
It's also an attitude of the mind.
Attitude of the mind.
So is that the kind of philosophy that you?
It's the kind of philosophy
that you subscribe to?
That's correct. There was a very great white lady at UNISA called Professor Veronica McKay.
I remember her.
Very powerful woman.
Yes.
That woman believed in black emancipation. And she would call and say, Morota, you guys are so stupid. Why do you allow these white boys to still have a
She would say
hegemony.
that.
She will say that. He said, no, contest the space. When if you are not contesting smalanyana, white supremacy actions like this, when are you really going to affirm the rights of black people in the space? And even the decisions she will take when she was in management, they were decisions which were informed by transformation and Africanization without pretense, without mincing her words. So such kind, and on the other side, you have another black manager whose role is to frustrate his or her black subordinates, is to pull them down, is to destroy
But
black talent.
why is that?
and all
I
that.
want you to speak to that, because you would have black people who are probably the worst when it comes to oppressing their own.
Yeah, look, their political and life induction is shallow because they believe in I'm the first this,
Oh,
I'm the
yes.
first
I'm the
black
fir-
this.
I'm the first black person around the table.
Around the table. I'm the
Yes.
first black woman around the table.
Yes.
I'm the first that and I'm first that.
And they wear it as a badge of honor.
As a badge of honor. Such kind of people, Dr. Woodson, in his book, Miseducation of a Negro, says those guys are miseducated. But if you want to control, he says, if you want to control a man's mind and actions, give him your education. So your education, your teachings will define how he responds to issues. So in one conference we had, one great black leader in the country came there pushing issues of transformation.
Who was that?
I think it was Andy Mkitama.
Yes.
Yeah, pushing issues of transformation. And black people became, their education made black people to revolt and try to create contestation against that guy. While the people whom Andy was talking about, they were on their laptops, busy working on their laptops. Because they knew that we have given black people in this room our education. That education will make it necessary for them to stand up and defend ourselves while we are on their laptops. That's how miseducated we are, my man.
So you have black people who defend white hegemony.
Yes.
Unashamedly.
In the press, they're not talking about them. That guy was talking about white people.
Yes.
White people, they don't stand up to defend themselves because they know it's true. But black people who think are clever blacks, they stand up and say, but this is a professional academic conference. You can't speak like that. It is not a political what.
These are house niggers.
These are house niggers.
As Malcolm X would say.
Yes, who are finishing eating some leftovers in the kitchen there. So their education system, that's how education is dangerous. Because a black man is only taught as a problem. So now they stand up, their education forces them. I guess that's how their training forces them to stand up and defend
the master.
Yes. So that is why when we see an executive manager pitching black people instead of developing them, enjoying to dine with our white counterparts as if it's a social status, you must know that I would rather have Professor McKay, whom white people will tell them that you forget the color of your skin.
Yes.
She told us, the way she was pushing transformation, some white folks said to her, you forget the color of the skin you are wearing.
Now, where was the Black Forum when you had the great brouhaha around the usage of Afrikaans in the university?
Yes, actually, when we go back there, I was still a lecturer in the University of South Africa. because people must know that Black Forum was founded at UNISA, and then we graduated it from UNISA into Black Forum South Africa. We're trying to exist everywhere in the country representing black people, but central to that, black professionals. So on the issue of Africans, we were expected to write a study guide, a tutorial letter, set examination and assignments in English, and then go around look for some Afrikaans-speaking people to translate for us. Then in my module, I was teaching with another former Black Forum leader, David Letswalo. We said, why is supposed to be us who must set question paper in English and still go around to beg people to translate it into Afrikaans?
Yes.
We said in a meeting, from today, we'll stop to translate this paper into Afrikaans. Otherwise, university develop other, formal languages, African languages, into language and teaching and learning. So we're saying it at the smaller department of jurisprudence.
Yes.
Then we pushed it to go to college boards until we say it at the university level that we're not going to do it. Other colleges, other departments started to follow suit. And then the university passed a moratorium on translation from English to Afrikaans, but the AfriForum took them to court.
Yes.
When they took them to court, now I said to the university, you don't even have to go and defend it. You lack nothing.
Yes.
Let's allow the Afrikaners who are serious about themselves,
Yes.
about developing themselves.
Yes.
Why are you not serious about developing the black nation?
Yes.
Now the universities are run by black bodies.
Yes.
Why you don't take the same, determination in terms of formalizing African languages into teaching and learning?
Yes.
Now we want to go and look stupid in front of the judges while they will quote the law that by formalizing Afrikaans is allowed by our constitution.
Yes.
What are you doing with our own culture and our own languages?
I like the angle from which you are approaching this issue, because it seems to me that black people are in the habit of complaining about white people all the time. We have our own languages, but we haven't promoted our languages sufficiently to compete with English, for instance. Right? We haven't built universities. Right? I know that you have some university in Centurion that was built by AfriForum, for instance.
Yeah.
Right? But if truth be told, black people have not, in the last 30 years or so, built anything of substance.
Yeah.
Am I correct?
Look, we not entirely. We tried to, but we are less serious.
Yes.
We could have taken the entire space. You can't talk about the University of Mpumalanga.
Yes.
It's
That's a glorified high school.
Satellite kind of university.
Yes.
It's all blaggy. We are playing with power as black people.
Yes.
You give white people power, they will show you how to use power.
Yes.
Power is not powder. You can't play with it.
Yeah. Power is not powder.
No, you can't. You can't continue playing with it. You must take decisions around it.
Yeah, I'm saying what I'm saying because you just gave an example of University of Mpumalanga. Is that the best we can do?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's an insult.
Yeah.
But I don't know what limitations that our government has. Equally, the limitation of black businesses in this country. They are based on buying soccer teams, opening nightclubs, but they do not even businesses, also churches. Because in the world, we know how churches played critical role on developing their nations. We have big churches in this country, but they are contributing nothing on building the nation.
The black agenda that you...
But also contributing into the black agenda.
Yes.
So we are not focused. We are trained to be more individualistic, shining alone. The black millionaires in this country, instead of building a school or establishing a school to rival Kyoto,
Yes.
what they will do, they will buy a soccer team.
Yes.
They'll establish a political party. And I've said to you, the more powerful black people is register a new political party, is a further division on black solidarity.
Yeah.
You are dividing our power.
I mean, the last
into pieces.
time I checked, Ace Magashule had just formed a party. So there's a plethora of political parties.
Yes, the purpose of that party is to cannibalize the ANC.
Yes.
So we have black political parties busy cannibalizing one another.
Yes.
You get the point. EFF, ANC, UDM,
Yes.
they're busy eating one another. They're not supposed to. Next day elections must just be about black political parties coming together.
Yes.
We need that Western Cape.
But that is if we can agree on a black agenda, because it seems to me that we have so many differences as black people.
Yeah. And that's how white system operates. They are very happy when black, especially strong black men or big black organizations don't agree to one another. So the divide and rule is their best method. But we are stupid because these people do not change this method. They repeat it time and time again. It doesn't change. But they are still mooring us, clipping us on it. So we just need to come. Perhaps this country was waiting for the Black Forum to be graduated from UNISA into the national, so that we could bring ANC and EFF and other important stakeholders on the table to say it is not necessary.
So Black Forum is spreading like wildfire.
That's correct.
Right? From UNISA, you've now gone into several institutions, right? Next year, we're having elections.
Yeah.
What role are you going to play in the elections?
For now, our role for the coming elections is to encourage South Africans to vote for political parties which will bring about a change in our lives. Political parties which would like to bring about equity in this country. There are many apartheid laws which are still operational, live and well.
They're still on the statute books.
Yeah. The act which Julius Malema was charged with.
The Writers' Assembly Act.
The Writers' Assembly Act.
Yes.
So we need a political party which is going to reverse the past injustices. We cannot say democracy is about reversing that, whereas we're still having such kind of the laws which were promulgated to frustrate a black life. We are so we don't even pay attention to. So we want a political party which will say, let's share the wealth of this country. Let's restore dignity of black people.
Yes.
We are not saying kill white people or drive them into the ocean. No. Let's bring about equity. Yes. So we just also need to capacitate our government. I see when they try to come up with the laws which will empower and emancipate black people, you'll find some reactionary, extremely right organizations like our AfriForum taking them to courts and all that. Like if you can check the employment equity amendments, which is forcing the employers to empower and employ black people. They're taking them to court and all that in many similar cases. We need to empower Black Forum also to protect the black government, especially when it make attempts which speak on empowerment, on reversing the past. It is unfortunate we keep on saying reversing the past injustices 30 years down the line because we've been playing with power.
Yeah.
So for next day elections, we don't need to vote for these many political parties. Let's identify top 3 pro-black parties.
Yes.
and we vote for them.
I see. Are you prepared to mention the three parties? What is Black Forum partisan, or is it not non-partisan?
No, we are not. Yeah, we are not non-partisan organization, because once you align with one political party,
Yes.
it means you are dividing, the voice. You are dividing that black agenda.
Yes.
We are trying to correct this thing of being divided over the color of the T-shirt you are wearing,
I see.
although our problems are common.
Yes. Yes.
So once an organization like Black Forum is a unifier, we must bring everything pro-black to the table, so that where there are contradictions and contestations, we could deal with that without taking or supporting a particular political, because political parties have never been a solution to black problems. So we'll be repeating the mistake of history of relying heavily on political parties. We should not rely on them. That is why I'm saying many political parties, let's identify three, pro-black, and then we support them.
You know, there's a view that professionals, black professionals in particular, have abdicated their responsibility to lead.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the history of this country, the struggle against apartheid and colonialism was prosecuted by educated black professionals. But if you contrast that with what is happening now,
We're miseducated.
miseducation.
We are misinducted. We are, black professionals are the ones who are carrying this country on their shoulders, but they can't even complain. You will see in different companies, black professionals are the ones who will get less benefits as compared to the cleaners, the security guards, the operators, people who are just laborers.
Yes, yes.
Because they'll join a union, that union is going to advocate for their rights. So when I'm an accountant working in Santin, who is advocating for my rights?
With your wonderful suit and tie.
Yeah, symbols of modern chains, modern slavery.
So you are in that position, but nobody is advocating for
Nobody's
you.
advocating for you, and you can't speak because you are trained to think that to say or to fight for other things, you'll be perceived as if you are less educated. So,
Really?
so they're saying, if I say this, I can't say this.
This happens in this day and age.
Yeah. I can't. One professor in one meeting, because my also background is also more of academia. One professor in one meeting said, we now see here in this company or institution, admin staff members are earning more than me as a professor, because they could strike, they could protest, they could do that. But that is a constitutional right. As a professor, you must be able to strike.
You must agitate.
You must agitate. It's the law. But they feel like if I go and strike and agitate, I'll be looked as if I'm less of a professor. So they are trained in such a way that they become a perpetual children. While, check Marigana, mine workers without a qualification are saying we want 12.5, we deserve it because of these reasons.
Yes.
And we're not going to budge from it. These guys, they were not scared that even if they dismiss them from their employment,
Yes.
they don't have a qualification to fall back to and go and market other employment elsewhere.
Yes.
But we have professionals with many certificates and all that being very scared to just speak, not to protest, to just speak in a meeting, in a corporate meeting that 1, 2, 3, 4.
Not even required to go to the picket lines. No.
No, that is extreme for them. Because they are trained to be cowards, they are trained to be
So it's
stupid.
essentially about lack of courage.
It's a lack of courage. It's because
It's
of
fear.
this education breeds fear. They rather be modern slaves in the corporate sector there, work until 10 p.m. And accept that anomaly, So we founded Black Forum for them because we are saying, if you are a black professional, you are an engineer, chartered accountant, auditor, IT specialist, and all that, and you are encountering challenges at work. We know, they are full there. They are quoting stampede there at mental institutions because the corporate space is breaking them at every tick of a second because they are modern slaves. They must work like slaves while they are treated like children.
Are these corporate spaces, and I'm asking the obvious here, are these corporate spaces not owned by black people?
Look, they're not. Not because this is who has the economic hegemony in this country. It's white people. Let's go to Johannesburg Stock Exchange and let's check. You'll understand who owns the corporate space within this country. So now,
So we haven't made a dent.
we haven't made a dent. We're playful as black people.
We are playful.
Yeah, we're playful. That's why we'll die paupers.
In a country of our birth.
In a country of our own ancestors, where we have been blessed with abundance of riches. We are not jealous about, bequeathing what our ancestors and our God has left for us.
Somebody says
From benefiting from what they have bequeathed to us.
somebody tells me that black professionals are now competing about the size of their German cars.
It's not their German cars as well. It's not their German car. It belongs to a corporate sector, the banking sector. It's not even theirs. But what I'm trying to say is that we have founded this Black Forum to represent these black professionals, scared as they are, weak as they are.
Are they coming? Are they coming to join the Black Forum?
They are coming to join, especially those whom have been the victims of the system. At least now they have gained courage because of the head. So we wish they could get more heads so that they could come and join Black Forum, so that we could intervene on their behalf. You go and have the so-called, because that system is well coordinated.
Yes.
They have what is called professional bodies.
Yes.
If you go into accounting, those professional bodies are meant to gatekeep black progression. You go into accountancy profession.
Yes.
They have a professional body called SAICA.
Yes.
That SAICA has too much power than the universities which are offering these accounting qualifications.
Give me some
Actually,
examples.
they give SAICA gives universities a curricula that your accounting qualification must have embodied this kind of a curricula.
Yes.
On top of that, SAICA has powers to say we are not going to accredit accounting qualification of University of Venda because it does not meet our standard. And you check, who is SAICA? SAICA is an NGO of white people. It's an NGO founded by white people. It is not even promulgated by the law, meaning that there is no law which regulates SAICA. In 2002, Minister, I think it was Trevor Manuel, he invited the World Bank to come to South Africa in order to conduct an investigation on the standardization and uniformity of the accounting and auditing professions. That World Bank report they were shocked to say, how could you have a professional body which is not founded by the law? When this professional body affects racism, discrimination, victimization, who holds this professional body accountable?
Yes.
That is why, my brother, you have cycle release its own results on who passed their board exams. You will find white people being at higher percentage as compared to black people. When I say black people, I'm using a generic term including colored Indians and Africans. When I was checking how many chartered accountants were produced by SAICA in terms of the race,
Yes.
that I think it was last year or a year before, white people were about 38,000 as compared to around 14,000 black people in generic term, including colored Indians and Africans. So they are saying colored Indians and Africans combined,
Yes.
they can't be clever and pass psycha board exams as compared to white race, because they are about 48,000 vis-a-vis 15,000. It means they doctor the results. There is no logical conclusion you could draw other than that. So SAICA, it was, on top of that, SAICA is funded by government. Government pumps a lot of million in SAICA. But the SAICA curriculum which it gives to universities, it is not, it's a private sector tailored curriculum. There is no way they talk about public sector finances, PFMA and all that. Where it means government is giving SAICA money to produce chartered accountants to benefit private sector. Whereas in government, we struggle about corruption, about fraud, about wasteful expenditures, and we need well-trained accountants to come and assist government. It means government is investing where it cannot benefit.
Yes.
It was only in 2019 when SAICA, since 1994, accredited University of Venda to offer SAICA qualification. All the years, they were offering become accounting, but not SAICA. And the way they have hegemony in the industry, if you're not a SAICA accountant, you are like a, advocate not from the bar.
Yes.
You get it?
Yes,
You get it?
Yes.
So University of Venda, all along, they said, you don't meet our requirements. Now you meet our requirements. It's 2019. But meeting the requirements is only on undergraduate qualification, BCom accounting and all that. When children at the University of Venda passes their BCom and they want to do their honors, they have to migrate to Gauteng province because SAICA hasn't accredited them to offer postgraduate studies. But I say, we have Department of Higher Education. We have universities. Why could we have some white arrangement, white NGO in a form of SAICA to have a hegemony over the entire accountancy profession in the country?
But that's precisely the point. The point is whiteness is allowed to thrive in the terms that you've just described because there's just simply no political will on the part of government to change things. I mean, we've got to call a spade a spade.
No, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. So black professionals they have been victimized by SAICA.
Yes.
I know, the story of Kaya Stole. He has been fighting with SAICA because they wanted to victimize him for putting transformation.
Yes.
Lot of black professionals, accountants are so scared of these professional bodies because they could finish you go into aviation space. Now Black Forum is zooming into aviation space. It's worse because it's still a white boys.
So it cuts across all industries.
All industries.
All professionals, all industries.
Black people are silenced, my man. Black professionals are silenced in a brutal way.
Yes.
And remember, as a black professional, you can't join. You can join a union, but we're trained not to join unions.
Yes.
Because most of the shop stewards in the unions are predominantly people who are our subordinates.
Yes.
They cannot even advocate a case
Yes.
the way I could argue it better.
So once you've attained some education,
yes,
you deem yourself not worthy to join a union.
You join the union. We said, okay, all well and good. We are now bringing Black Forum here.
So Black Forum essentially is occupying that space.
We want to occupy that space, that black professionals, you don't have unions.
Yes.
Now you have Black Forum.
Yes.
When you are frustrated at work, you are no longer going to go into your limited pocket, get expensive lawyers to fight your case.
Yes.
Now you come into Black Forum, be a member of Black Forum, and Black Forum will intervene on your
So
behalf.
how do they join Black Forum? How do I join Black Forum?
If you would like to join Black Forum, one could just go to our website, which is you can just say www.blackforumsa or Black Forum South Africa dot online, or you can just type Black Forum website on the intranet. It will take you to our website.
Yes.
Then you can join online on the
Yes.
website.
Is there a fee that one has to pay?
No, definitely. We must finance our.
You must finance the revolution.
No, the revolution must be financed. Otherwise, we'll be captured here.
Yes.
It's difficult to run an organization, a special organization of emancipating black people.
Yes.
So we have categories of membership. Black professionals is $199 per month. But of course, we can't leave black workers whom are not professionals at the back. Can't leave entire black people. So it's 90 rand for black workers, but you can also leave
$90.
Yeah, 90 rand
Per
month.
per month. Yes.
199 black professionals. And then black businesses start from 499 because black businesses are also vulnerable.
Yes.
I might say that one black guy comes to Black Forum and says, Black Forum, look, I'm providing mining services. I got this project in Mpumalanga, providing mining services for this mining company from Australia.
Yes.
It's a 3-year contract, but on the 7th, 8th month, they terminated that contract. You know, that convenience termination. So this guy has been fighting with them in the court of law for 3 years. Yes. And they knew that they are going to stretch him financially.
Yeah.
So they just frustrate him like that until he comes to Black Forum.
They drown you in debt.
Yeah.
Not too dissimilar to the Makate story.
Yes.
Vis-a-vis Vodacom.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
They were doing that to him.
Yes.
He came to Black Forum. He said, you know what? Bring it here. We wrote one letter to their directors there in Australia. They settled that man. They settled him. Even his white legal representation, the best of the best.
Yes.
They said, we love Black Forum. Yes. So if you're not joining Black Forum as a black company, as a black professional, you're just wasting your time. You'll be frustrated. If you're not frustrated now, your time will come.
No, I speaking for myself, I'm impressed of the work that Black Forum has been doing, because I know that you've been talking about the objective factors that sort of prevent black people from developing, right? From empowering themselves. But there are also subjective factors that speak to lack of unity amongst our people. And Black Forum, you say, occupies that space. It says, let's unite.
Let's unite. It's part of our conscientization project. That's why we have seminars time and time again.
Yes.
Bringing these professionals in order to take off this cloth of fear
Yes.
On their face.
Yes.
So that they could show us that they are well trained to take any industry or any, victim contestation head on. We are now even we were invited to come to Mpumalanga in Piet on this issue of farm killings.
Yes.
8 years into this democracy, we found that white farmers in that space, in these farming communities, not only in Mpumalanga but across the country, they still have what is called torture rooms. If you are found lingering around there, the farms not knowing where you're going, or if they suspect that one black farm dweller has stolen something from them, they'll take you into the torture room. You'll see your blood on the floor. Yes. And in the bamboo kraal where we went there because they shot and killed the two Xoka brothers. When you arrive there, the mother says, in this community, when boy children attain a particular age, these white people kill them. It does not start now. I was born and bred in this farm. I know that has been a practice. And when they shoot them on their genitals, shoot them on their private parts, in the execution style. The same after we're investigating that Coca case, here's the Hlatsoyo brothers, two Hlatsoyo brothers. They were also killed, I think, 3 months or 4 months prior that. They were also shot and killed in the same style. So one family also calls and say, Black Farm, our brother has been picked up here by 2 white farmers accusing him of having stolen some of their produce. That was the last time we see him. Just last month, one farm worker came and said, Ish, I came here to inform you that your brother was killed and buried by us. They brought him at the farm. They started assaulting him until he died, and then they ordered us to dig a hole so that we plant him there.
But, we don't hear enough about those incidents.
No, definitely.
In fact, if you look across the media, all we see is murders of farmers.
Of farmers, yeah.
But you say in the very same situation, same context, you have farm laborers who are subjected to the most
serious atrocities.
The most serious atrocities.
Yeah, they kill them like flies. And when we went to the police station, when the family went to the police station and say, here's a whistleblower about the disappearance and death of our brother.
Yes.
The police station said in South Africa there is no law which requires us, there is no presence meant for white people. So we can't arrest white people in this country because there are no jails built for white people. I'm talking about things which happened this year.
So we are afraid. You're right. We are afraid.
Yeah. We need to call Imbizo in this country so that we cleanse the spirit of fear, of being second best, of dominated and all that. So that the next generation they don't inherit, we don't bequeath it to them.
You've mentioned the incident where you had to write to the Australian company.
Yeah.
And with just one letter, the problem was solved.
Yeah.
What are your biggest achievements so far as the Black Forum?
Look, the biggest achievement as Black Forum is to graduate the organization from UNISA to the nation. That is the biggest achievement, because now not only UNISA people could get these great services from this organization. Anyone, anywhere are now joining so that Black Forum could affirm their rights. That is the biggest, but also, when you see that organization of great, founders, people who founded this organization are great. You talk about the former Vice Chancellor of UNISA, Professor Mandla Makhanya, Professor David Mosoma. You talk about Professor Zodwa Motsa. You talk about Professor Takatso Mofokeng. You talk about Professor Palaji. You talk about Professor Idumile Mosala, the former Secretary of the State Capture Commission.
Yeah.
So these
the former president of AZAPO.
The former president of AZAPO.
Yes.
We talk about great intellectual towers.
These are people who've gone through Black Forum.
Yes.
I see.
These are the great college of intellectuals.
Yes. No doubt.
No doubt, whom we are not going to disappoint them.
Yes.
It was also inherited by our Professor Humphrey Mohashwa, our Professor Puleng Lengabule, the current Vice Chancellor of UNISA, and many other great scholars and intellectuals. So we are trying to fit into big shoes of great scholars But by taking it to the national, that was a milestone.
So what's your vision for the next 5 years to 10 years?
The next 5 years to 10 years, we are saying, as Black Forum, we are going to establish our own institutions of value. While we contest white privilege in this country and advocate for Black solidarity in order to achieve our own self-determination, we are going to establish our own institutions. At the current
What
moment,
do you have in mind when you're talking institutions of value?
At the current moment, we have already appointed consultants who are busy with school accreditation for the Black Forum, because we want to have Black Forum schools which are going to teach our children, give them proper education. The education which will be, formulated in conformity with Black need. So we don't have that now. We will arrive at cure because we are going to identify great politicians, great professionals to be part of curricular formulation of these schools. So that is number one. But also we are getting different seat accreditations to provide skills development on the Black bodies which are on the street, which they could not have been fortunate enough, like me and you, to attain education in this country. So we are making them to be employable. So we hope sitters also should not take us pillar to post, so that we get accreditation to empower these, downtrodden, forgotten masses of our people. But at the center of it, we want to develop a very powerful legal division. Because in this country, Black people who are trained to doi and protest, after a day, nothing happens, we go back home. We must go and contest white privilege.
In the courts?
In the courts of law. Because if you can't take it there, you are playful as a Black organization. We must go and contest AfriForum and other right-wing organizations.
So you want to take them toe to toe?
Well, take them to, actually they have stolen our identity, because there is nothing African about them. We are the real AfriForum as Black Forum. They can't reduce us to Black, to Nguni, to Beji, to Zulu, and then say, bona, they are African. The direct translation of Afrikaner is African. So it means they are saying, bona, they are Africans. Till now we are divided into tribes. They label us Beji, Xhosa, Zulu, Tswana, and all that. The truth of the matter is that we are the real AfriForum.
Do you understand the amount of controversy that this is going to generate? You are the real AfriForum.
We are the real AfriForum. We know how. We know there's nothing African about these Boers. There's nothing African about them. They are using it to put us at Lala moment, to slumber and be comfortable. We can't be comfortable when a particular tribe comes here and steal our identity and call themselves what we are, Africans. So there is no AfriForum here. AfriForum is us.
Well, before I ask you questions about your role as a CEO, right? It's interesting that, and I can't, for the life of me, I can't stop thinking about this. So you're saying in professional spaces, in universities, these are institutions of higher learning, you have Black people who are subjected to humiliation on a daily basis.
That's correct.
These are educated people.
It's bad, my man. It's bad. Their education is certification. There are a lot of professors who cannot prophesy. But in the community, we are trained to respect them based on the certification they are having. It's one thing to have a certificate.
Yes.
But it's quite another to be a properly well-informed, educated academic or professional. So most of our professors is a form without substance,
Yes.
you know. Then we must glorify and celebrate the form.
Yes.
But when you say, let's hear you out,
Nothing.
there is nothing. It's emptiness.
You did say that.
That's why
Yes.
most of professionals, most of professors, black professors, are not contributing into the societal problems we have in this country.
Because they have nothing to contribute.
They have nothing to contribute. They're confused as well.
Yes.
You know.
You did talk about Africanization of the curriculum.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
Exactly that. We have the African methodologies, the African
Indigenous knowledge systems.
epistemologies must be, you know, must be integral part of our school curricula.
Yes.
Not at the university level. Let's start them there.
Yes.
You know, at the preparatory
Yes.
school level,
Yes.
and coming up with them.
No, I think you're quite correct. I mean, within the context of the legal profession, for instance,
Yeah.
you have customary law, what we call customary law,
Yeah.
which is reduced almost as a step
Yeah.
child of the law,
No, to a
of the
module,
legal
to one
system.
textbook.
Yeah, one textbook.
Whereas the entire legal...
And we're talking about us being within an African location.
Yes. So the entire law curriculum must be customary law.
If you think about it,
If
of
you
course.
think about it. Because in
It's
the
set,
customary law,
it's set within the context of the
African comes...
of the African customs.
Yeah. So the African customary law gives us everything because we knew how to trade amongst each other. That's the law of contract.
Even before the advent of colonialism,
Even before that.
we traded amongst each other.
No, check the history of Mapungubwe.
Yes.
Check the history. They knew how to mine gold, process it, and produce, manufacture some produce.
Yes.
The bangles at home. I grew up. My grandmothers, when they are going to a wedding, they will put a lot of beautiful bangles.
Beads.
The
you know,
beads,
like you
and
can
all-
see here.
yes, you know, without being trained, using the westernized education, but also those beads and those produce, they will take them and trade them internationally.
Yes.
They'll go to Arabia, they'll go to India to trade them. That was international trade.
So we had our own civilization.
We had our own civilization. Yet now when they come here, Wahigel will tell us that Africa was found tabula rasa, which is just an insult to us,
Yes. Yes.
you know.
But I'm happy you are occupying that space. I'm happy
Definitely.
AfriForum is acting as an antidote
Yeah.
to that kind of nonsensical
Yeah.
beliefs.
Government, black businesses, everything black, they should not shy away to come to Black Forum to assist them. So that when they see AfriForum this side affirming the rights of, you know, of white people, will be doing the opposite, protecting and affirming the rights of black people and black establishment.
Yo, now let's talk about you as a CEO. What do you do as a CEO of Black Forum?
Yeah, my position as CEO is more of an operational position. We must make sure that the operations, the business of this organization is, you know, is operationalized out there for the people of this country to know about us, but also to come to the home which will always provide safety for them. So we go around, we take different cases through our socials. If I could show you our WhatsApp number, we have over 2,000 new messages, which we haven't even attended to that.
What are they looking for?
They're
in
looking
the
for
main?
assistance. They are
Assistance.
frustrated. I'm talking about different categories of society. Talk about workers, businesses, you know, organizations. They need assistance. You could tell that South Africa is a crime scene because every corner of this country, black people are victimized. Seriously victimized. I wish I could just show you one message where the brother says, here in Bronkhorstspruit, the white farmers have shot and killed my younger brother with a rifle. Hit at the back, chest out.
Sure.
You know. So
But why are these things not highlighted?
they are not, because the media is not controlled by us. We get encouraged to see, time evolving like this, now being in the era of podcasts and having great podcasts like this professionals podcast. We wish through this kind of platforms we could amplify the pain and atrocities which black people are subjected to at every time.
Mainstream media is certainly not showing
No,
that.
it's not. And we should no longer care about mainstream media. We are mainstream ourselves if we could come together and use this kind of platforms that we are on at the current moment.
In conclusion, I've got to ask you what we call a killer question.
Yes.
If there's 3 people, dead or alive, that you would want to have on your dinner table, who would those be?
3 people I would like to have on a dinner table. Who will those be? In the contemporary world,
Yeah.
the first person I'll bring on the table will be the great father, one of the few fathers we are left with as a black nation on this planet Earth. Is none other than Dr. Louis Farrakhan. He will be the president of the Nation of Islam.
Yes.
I would like to have a dinner with him. The second person will be my mother. I saw her going through a lot for us to be who we are today, for us to be featured in these big podcast platforms.
Yes.
Like now, just to honor.
She'll probably be watching this.
Yeah, she's a lioness.
Yeah.
Who taught us
Do you want to say something to her in Sepedi there? Umorete.
ka Sepedi ke gore boleji ra leboga monareng o itshware ka bogaleng thipa re mo releng ka lebaka la gage
Tobele.
ke mosadi a išang tao setswetše a kgone belega magema dibata tša go swana le rena ga ne bua le mogala bua gešo rena re magala a fišang a se magala fela ke magala mohwele re tshipi
Anna.
wa gata ga geno ke ga maotona hunyela.
Tobele.
Yeah.
So that's the second person. The third person?
Yeah. Look, the third person whom I could invite is Professor Veronica McKay. She has played a huge influential
That brave
role.
woman.
Yes.
Against all odds, by
Against
the way.
all
I
odds.
remember the times.
Yeah.
Yes.
She at some point, AfriForum and Solidarity Union wanted to finish me off.
To finish you off personally.
Yeah, they wanted to, when you are a young black person,
Yes.
contesting the system,
Yes.
contesting white privilege, they criminalize you.
Yes.
That's how system works. You challenge them, they criminalize you. So I was criminalized. They were taking me to courts there because some white women say they get intimidated when they see me. So they must get the protection order. Their plan was to get the protection order against me. Of course, protection order has some sensitive conditions that you should not play work where she is, she could be. But I work in this university. How am I going to go to work? I might find it at the cafeteria.
Yes.
And then she will say, Morota is following me. It's a breach into the court order. Then they'll arrest me.
Yes.
So they wanted to do it like that. Fortunately, we defeated them.
In the courts?
In the courts. So I'm sitting here saying that Black Forum has defeated AfriForum and Solidarity Union.
And you have a personal story to tell.
And I have a personal story to tell. So that is the story of my life. And Professor Veronica McKay played a huge role. in our political and intellectual upbringing. She found us being hopeless, but she was patient with us. Other people insulted us. What does
Fantastic.
Black Forum
Fantastic.
has to do? What does Black Forum has to do with this white woman?
Yes.
That this woman is more black than
But like you
are.
said, it's not about the
It's not about the
pigmentation
pigmentation of your
yes,
skin.
yes.
It's not about that. Yes.
Now, you've got to say something to your members and your future members and aspirant professionals and professionals across the globe, because we have a far reach as the Professionals Network podcast.
Yes.
So say something. Which camera are you looking at? Lincoln Ngube, the man who's running the podcast, which camera is he supposed to be looking at?
Okay.
Yes. Say something to your members.
Now, to our members, I would like to say that, unfortunately, the African gods have bestowed a huge responsibility on your shoulders. It took 30 years into democracy to establish an organization which seeks to bring together all black people under one roof in order to achieve our own self-reliance and self-determination. Without solidarity of black people, we will forever be a conquered nation in our majority. So we call upon every black stakeholder, black people, more so black professionals, black businesses, black government, black political parties, come join Black Forum so that we could affirm our unity in order to achieve our own self-determination.
Amen.
We shall intervene on your behalf.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There you have it, another episode of Professionals Network podcast. We profile professionals from across the globe, from all walks of life. Thanks for joining us. See you.